out there because some people might like it. It's like kind of fear of, I don't know. I have no idea what the fear is, but I know like I acknowledge the feeling. Like
Yeah.
I don't ever like to, not ever like to, but like I'll be reluctant to post something new, like or post something like out of the norm that I like doing, just because like not fear of being judged, but just like is this who what I want to do or like who I
Yeah.
am kind of. But I'm glad I'm getting that like now. Like I'm glad I'm asking all these questions like now, because I know a lot of people way older than me that ask themselves the same questions way down the line.
C1P with the mushroom vibes. Sprinkling trouble, he's got that twinkle in his eyes. C1P bringing joy to our lives with his antics and adventures we can't deny.
Welcome to C1P, your local legend podcast, the number one art podcast in the world. I'm your host, Z HOVAK. Today, I have a future star, a future legend, someone I just recently met who has like magical energy, the one and only Solo.
I appreciate it. That's funny that you mentioned energy. I'm like kind of the biggest energy person like ever. Like I think I got that from my dad, cause like I've always like not like I feel like it's been religion has been like a big part of my life, but I feel like energies and like how people and how everyone is like how everything has come to be is like something I think about as well.
That comes from like having like super strong like gut, like when you know who you are and like you're able to tap into like that feeling, because not everybody feels it, like it's like a whole, it's true.
It feels like I don't even know. Like we call it in my like our generation, it's not like we call them NPCs. It's like people with like one track mindsets. You're like I'm like a people watcher. Like I'll like all the time I'll just like look at people on the street and like search like what are they doing. Like everyone has like their own lives, aspirations, and everything. It's like weird to think about like how there's so much like information like going around in the world. It's kind of weird.
That shit. Basically, you just called me old. Thanks, homie. No, I'm so about like NPCs. Like I feel like when I travel, sometimes I'll meet someone and I'm like, dude, I met a version of you in
Like
another.
literally,
I met you already. I met a version of you. What amazing stuff. So, like, for people listening, for anyone that's like needs to find out who you are, so you're in high school right now
yeah. I'm a senior in high school right now.
and you are being recruited by like 8 to 10 colleges to
Mm.
play basketball. You're also a recording artist.
It's I feel like it's I call it duality of man all the time because like seeing a lot of people that I grew up with or like people things like that, like everyone is like one track, like everyone does one thing, everyone like is good at one thing, but I felt like I've been thrown in the water like when I was a little kid. Like I've always been around music, like I've all like so much different types of music too. Like I listen to jazz, I listen to blues, I listen to like EDM, I listen to rap, rock, like anything you name, like I've listened to because it's like people's like emotions and like feelings and thoughts and like it's like I'm intaking it and I feel like I get that's where my art comes from. Like I get pieces from like a lot of different places and then it like kind of collages into like one thought and then it's like everything aligns with something kind of.
I'm gonna ask you. I saw your physical art today and I almost melted. And this is one of the reasons you're here. Like, obviously, me as an artist, like, I have a specific process, right? Like, and I have not figured out that process. It's like this energy and creativity comes to me at any given time. Like, the stars will align and, like, the creative gods will choose me that very moment. And, like, the rush comes over me. And I just feel like this creative, like, I don't know. I can't even explain it, but it's like this rush, and I'm like, I gotta paint, I gotta
I
create.
know exactly what you're talking
And
about.
then when I finish, I look at the piece the next day, and I can't believe that like I did that. Like I don't even know where all that came from. So like, what's your process? Because your pieces are so sick. They're
Thank you.
so intricate. They're so colorful.
I feel like that's actually crazy that you said that because like a lot of my experiences I think are like solely my own, but it's like weird that I have the same like kind of emotion. Like whenever I'll be walking down the street and I like have a song in my head, I'll be like, "Bro, I need to write this down. I'm record it later." Like literally, I can never just like people can't tell me like sit down and paint. Like I can never do that. Like that's why I never really I appreciate art classes, but I still tell people all the time I hate art classes because it's like the concept of someone telling me, like trying to tell me what I should do or what I want to do. That's not how my brain works. I feel like if I see something, I'll take a picture of it or a screenshot, and I'll be like, I'm gonna do this later, and then it'll just like I'll feel something, I'll feel a rush, I'll get paints, I'll get my canvas, and then I'll just go close my eyes, whatever. And then I was thinking about that the other day, like with all my art, like it's like hours and hours and days of just work, and it's just like here now, like everything that you've done, like I feel like you don't even like not remember the process, but I don't remember the process for a lot of my art. It's just there. It's weird to think about sometimes.
No, it's crazy. Like this is exactly like why I wanted to do this podcast is like to talk to artists and creative people because I feel like we don't even understand. It's like I believe we are like chosen by the gods to like be the vessel to transfer creativity and like the earth so desperately always needs creativity and I believe everything is create. I think basketball is creativity. I think anything you do with from a passion and like creative part of your brain is art. So yeah, it's really trippy to talk to like other people to feel the same and understand that at the end we don't understand.
Exactly. And I feel like art, like as a whole, like it's like you think about it so minuscule sometimes, but like I feel like art is like so many things. It's like expression. It's like expressing how you feel, like when you feel it, like things that you're going through. Like I'll look at back at some of my pieces from a few years ago and like relive like that time. I feel like it's like really important to do art, and I feel like my parents have done a really good job in instilling that in me since I was a little kid. I've like taken art classes since I was like I think 4. Even though I didn't like them that much, like it really kind of gave me a structure in the chaos, I guess.
Yeah, and it kept your creative childish brain continuing. I think like people say like grow old, but what really should be said is like grow young because you never want to like you lose that creative fun part of your brain. And then that is what leads you to success in everything else that you do is like that fun, creative, open perspective. Do you think like obviously I'm assuming you're like visual, right? Like everything is visual.
Everything. I'll see art in anything. I'll go look at cracks on the sidewalk and like see a picture in it sometimes.
How does like okay, right now like you're being recruited for basketball, you're doing art and you're a recording artist. Like how are all these three related in your brain? Because for me it has to be related cuz like when I cook it's the same thing as I paint.
Yeah.
It's a very
I feel like it's like stream of consciousness. Like even with fashion, like I really, really, really like fashion. Like fashion shows. Like I'll read up on old books. Like I feel like it's all stream of consciousness. Like art, basketball, expression. Like everything revolves around expression. Everything that you do revolves, whether it's happy, sad, upset, like whatever. Everything revolves around expression, and I feel like that's like the constant in everything because everything does have a constant.
I don't know. I don't believe you're in high school. Like, what a legend. Like, there's adults that don't have this sort of understanding of life.
No, I feel like that's like what makes me special a lot because like I've been through a lot, like growing up and like seen a lot, whatever. And I feel like it, like adapting my mind. I can see a lot of things that like other people my age can't really see and like experience a lot of things that a lot of people my age haven't. So it's just like everything comes with the territory. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, but I feel like as long as you understand what you're doing, like you can fix it, you can change it. Like as long as you're aware of like everything, like life is your oyster. You can do whatever.
How is like being like someone like so evolved like or amongst your peers? Like, is it hard being around a bunch of people with?
Not really. I feel like it's cool because like I kind of bask in it sometimes because like people notice. It's not like oh I'm just like super smart and nobody knows this kind of thing. Like I feel like everyone revolves around everything that I do and gravitates towards it. Like I feel like that was my biggest step that I had to take in my life was like stop living for other people and like start like doing the things that I love just because I like doing them. And like when I started doing that, everyone started gravitating and like understanding it and like wanting to like be like me. And like that's really special to me that I'm doing something right enough for hundreds of people to like message me and tell me like to keep going and that I inspire them. I feel like that's really dope to me, and like even inspiring people that I used to look up to. Like for example, there's this rapper. His name is Rad. Like I used to listen to him all the time. Used to watch all his stuff, and then like I met him and I played him my music. He fell in love with my music and how I do things. And then on his most recent album, he named one of his songs Five. That's what other people call me is Five. And I just like kind of full circle moment like that I can inspire. It doesn't matter how old. Age is a concept kind of to me. So it's like everything is freedom, and it's like really cool to like see, I guess.
Dude, you're a legend. You're gonna be I know you're already like a legend, but you're gonna be like, the podcast is called Your Local Legend, and I feel like you're already. What is being a local legend to you? Because to me, you're already a legend. You're gonna be a legend. You're a future star. But what does being a local legend mean to you?
I feel like being a local legend is being somebody that people could look up to, like being not the norm. Like I feel like the norm is weird. Like be as weird as you want. Like do whatever you want to do. I feel like people tend to follow people that are unapologetically themselves, and I feel like that's my best qualities. I've never like it's not that I've never been afraid to step out of the shadows or step out of my box of comfort, but it's like if you won't do it, then who will? Everything like comes into the world because someone else has done it. Like cool art like this, like everything was black and white. Like nobody did this until someone was comfortable enough or brave enough to step out. So I feel like me being that person, like I like to connect with people who are like that, and that's local legend because everyone wants to be someone else and nobody wants to be like who they actually are.
Oh wow, I love myself. And you love yourself. I love the way you said it. Like it's like just be purely authentic, be you, because by being you is the only way you'll inspire others.
Because you're gonna inspire someone to do something someone else has already done. It's not really
For sure.
so.
I was telling you earlier that like I love making jewelry. Like obsessively, I was making jewelry like nonstop, soldering silver and like making beads and crystal beads. But I don't really put that stuff on my social media because I feel like people don't receive, like they categorize you as like an artist, for example. Like I'm known for C1P, and then like if I include that part of my life, like it's like it takes away from, I don't know, like for me it's like it's just me, it's what I do. Like sometimes I DJ here and I'm like that's what I do, but people can't really receive you being like so many things in one.
Yeah.
But my question that I asked to myself is, it like, is it also fear on my end, not like holding back to show like all the other things I do?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it might be fear, but knowing a lot of other creative people, I feel like it's like it's fear of watering yourself down. Like that's why I have so many different accounts. Like I have my basketball account on Instagram. It's like pretty, like people know, like people follow it, people know it. But I never have. I tell people this all the time. I've never posted my music on my account ever. I have 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify right now, and if I posted it, I feel like it can combine and be something way bigger. But I feel like I'm all these different people and different entities. Like I said, like my number's 5. I'm like 5 different people: fashion or basketball, music, like stuff like that. Like I feel like I'm a different person, a different lane. I have a different account for everything I do, and I feel like my end goal is to create everything so whereas everyone knows everything, but I like my different like fan bases and like my different niches because it makes me feel more valued, I guess, because people can accept me over here for doing this, people can accept me here for doing this, and then like realize it makes me realize the power that I have. Cause like nobody over here knows I play basketball. Nobody over here knows I like fashion. Nobody over here knows I do art. So whenever I do post things to these different entities and different accounts, it just makes me feel like more, I guess, free.
Oh my god, I think you just schooled me and like gave me so much like clarity. You know what, like I didn't realize, like, so like the also keys also like different accounts for different things that you do in your life.
Cause like if it doesn't work, who cares? Delete the account. Like I've had TikTok. Like I've failed on going viral on TikTok on some accounts. I delete the account. Nobody even knows. At least I tried it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. And if people like it, they like they cling on to it as something that they can respect because it's you. Like if it's not you, then like there's no real point in doing it. But if you're like, if it's unapologetically yourself, if you love doing it, then there's no reason you shouldn't, because that's what fear is. That's what everyone's fear is.
You know who's one of the people I like love and respect the most is like Pharrell.
Bro, I was just watching his LV collect. Pharrell is one of the most influential people of all time. I never really got into his music, is the funny part, like never. But his work with Babe is my favorite brand of all time. His work with Babe, Beer No Boys Club, Louis Vuitton, Off-White, Loewe, like golf, like all these things. He's one of the most important. Tyler the Creator too. Like those are like my two fashion icons.
Same. Like I look at them and I'm like, well, he's doing this, and then he does this charity, and then he does this thing, and it's like, I'm sure there's like people like us who are like multi-vertical and are creative in so many ways will see someone like him, and he could like inspire by just him existing. But then there's like probably millions of people that know him only for fashion, only for art, you know. And so like yeah, it's exciting to see like what's out there. But you know what, after this I'm gonna go look at his Instagram. I want to see, or like his social media, I want to see what is his like avenue of like self, like, because like social media is branding, right? It's like what you brand yourself for people to see. So like I'm sure his band or group has like a separate Instagram, but I want to know if he's like posting art and fashion and like, all in one.
I was literally just like, I swear to God, I was just researching this, I think 2 or 3 days ago in class, bro. I was watching this. Pharrell is like, I feel like he has like a PR page, and these people have like PR pages. But what I noticed, like knowing like the people that they know, they all have like spam Instagrams, like where they put like Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty is like the same person. He does fashion, music, all these different avenues, and they documented on these accounts with like they're not unknown. They have like hundreds of thousands of followers, but they're still not their main accounts, and they just like express everything that they do. Same with Tyler the Creator, is like one of my favorite people that I've ever gotten the chance to meet or like look at do anything, because he started with Supreme in 2009, and now he has 3 brands. Like it's super crazy to see evolution, and it just makes me like, being how young I am, it just gives me like not hope but like reassurance that everything I do or want to do can be accomplished, and like I can excel and be better than them, like because I have these examples of people that I've seen and watched like expand.
I love that. I love that you have the power. So I'm a magical person. This is a magical podcast. Tell me what you like, ultimate fantasy. Like when you come back here a few years from now, like where would you want to be? It could be like a year from now and another 10 years. Like you'll be out here. I'm assuming like maybe this is your first, I can claim this is your first. First
you can claim that.
On the C1P HOVAK show. Yeah, like spit it out, like put it out in the universe. Like where do we want to be in the next 5 to 10 years?
I feel like manifestation is really big, but I also feel like I can't even fathom the things that I will be able to accomplish in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, because like in this past summer, like this has been the best summer of my whole, like I couldn't fathom the things I did this summer, last summer. Like I can never box anything in because everything keeps topping itself. But I feel like I want to be in a position where people, not like just people, like I can expand my like niche, and like not a cult. I don't have a cult, but I have like a loyal fan base who listens to the things that I say, and I want that to expand and be able to do everything I want to do on one platform. Like everyone knows me for all the things, not all the things, but a lot of the things that I do, as opposed to being different people for different groups. Like I want my art people to mess with the music, and I want everything to become one entity.
I love that. You were telling me it's all gonna happen. We'll manifest it in the magic. Tell me about like your magical Europe trips this summer. Like, why did you go? What did you do there?
I went for basketball because I got invited to work out for these different pro clubs, and I worked out for them. I worked out in Switzerland. I got MVP in Switzerland, MVP at Swiss camp. Went to Germany. I got MVP at German camp, and then I went back to Switzerland, and then I went to Spain, and then I it was Spain. It was with all these different pro guys, pro hoops, and then after Spain, I went back to Germany to work out. But it was cool. Like that was the basketball aspect. But staying there by myself for 5 weeks, like it was an experience. I got my own food. Like I was, they had places for me to stay, but it was just cool. Like interacting in a different country. Like I had no idea what anyone was talking about. Like it was just on the fly, and I feel like it made me a lot more resilient and like appreciate things a lot more. Um, yeah, I'm really into like Victorian architecture. Like vampires have been my thing since like I was born. Like I've watched every vampire show in history: True Blood, Vampire Diaries, Originals, Legacies. I watched all that. But I got to see I think 10 different castles, and there was this one day I was done on my workouts in Germany, and I took 4 or 5 different trains to different cities: Cologne, Germany, Essen, like all these different places where there was just old architecture, and like I literally shed tears like everywhere I went to see castles because it's just like I'm in America now. Like I was there. I wake up in a whole nother country, and I was blessed. Like I've never felt so blessed to be able to do something because like I'm talented. My basketball brought me out there, but I did art out there. In Germany, they had a musical studio in my apartment, so I could record music out there. I could see what I want to see. I could go shopping. Like it was, everything's a vessel. Like basketball is a vessel, art's a vessel, and I feel like I got to be myself out there, and it was really cool.
Wow. I'm literally speechless.
It was sick. It was really cool.
Did you take cool photos?
I had to get a new phone like out there so I could just take pictures. Like it was amazing. I went to the Swiss Alps and we hiked and camped there. Be the most beautiful view of all time. And like a lot of the times with myself, like not that I'll doubt myself, but I'll feel really isolated. Like it's like a blessing and a curse, like being this talented. Cause like I feel like sometimes like I'll feel misunderstood. Like I have all this and like still feel like people don't get it, and it's like I'll push and do all these things for people to understand me. But then I realized when I was out there, like nobody needs to understand me. Nobody really needs to get it. Like it doesn't matter as long as I get it. And then when I realized that, like people started to gravitate, and like I have people in Spain and Germany, and they listen to my music. They send me clips like every day, literally just like they don't even speak that language, and they gravitate towards me because of my energy. So it kind of made me more confident in myself and like things that I like doing, because like I wouldn't have experienced that at all like anywhere else. So it was not once in a lifetime, but it was a lifetime experience for sure when I was 17 years
First
summer.
of many million, I feel like, to come, but the first one is always gonna be in your soul forever. But I'm so excited to hear that like you actually understood like the mission, because I feel like on a spiritual level, like things come to us when you're ready.
Yeah.
And if you can actually learn something along the process, pizza's here. Along the process, like you actually understood why you were there outside of the job you were hired or
Yeah.
you were there to do. So like you had like this breakthrough and a spiritual awakening. So and that's so important for like people out there that are creatives to listen, because I don't think you need like, okay, like you're such a unique person, you know. Anybody that's like a triple threat and like does so many things, people aren't gonna understand you because people aren't you. But then as creatives, like we are so desperate to be understood. Like I don't know why. Like it's like what, but because we're not like anybody else. But to understand that at such a young age for you, like it's like legendary to like, because the earlier you get to feel confident in your soul. And I believe in word magic. So never say like, I would never say like it's a curse, because it's like actually a blessing, and like you were chosen by the gods. Like you really were chosen to, like, because you're someone, not everybody can handle having the power to be able to do so many things. And well, if you're given all those things, that means like you were chosen, you're capable, and actually you're the person that's gonna take it to the moon.
That's why, like, that's what my music name is. What it is. Someone gave it to me. It's Slime Lord. Like, it's like I've always like I don't even remember who gave that to me. It's funny, but like Lord, it's like obviously like a term of hierarchy, I guess. But people just like always since I was little just have wanted to do what I do, or like wanted to see what I see and see things. So it's like I embrace that, and I embrace that I am different, and like that I am kind of not the one. I won't say the one, but I am one of the ones that if I really focus and understand like who I am, then I can really change a lot about a lot.
And you're the one, you have a unique DNA. We all have a unique DNA. So in order to be like top of your game in whatever you do, you have to believe that you are number one. So you're number one. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see like the stuff you're gonna accomplish. So happy. I hope that one day we do a sick art collab together.
Has to, and I don't do collabs, bro. So it's gonna happen. I hate. It's not a hate, bro. I just dislike working with people sometimes. Like I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of people in industries and stuff are like they don't do it for passion. They do it for like other like avenues. Like I feel like a lot of musicians that I've like been around, like they don't really do it because like it's their emotions. Like you can kind of tell. And like I don't really like people like that. But I love people, like genuine people like yourself, and like people who I can relate to, because a lot of times I feel isolated and like I can't really relate to people. That's why I don't really talk about myself or like things that I do as much. But like I find like maybe 2 or 3 people a month that are like you and me, and like that I can really relate to and like understand. And it's like really a blessing to see that there is still people that I can understand.
Well, the studio's always open to, you're welcome to come paint, you're welcome to come film, hang out.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's go eat some pizza.
Peace, bro.
That's it.